Yes, it's been a hard pill to swallow, like watching them launch their maternity line, watching them celebrate mothers, like to me that is very hard to see. I came to a place where I'm okay because now I get to talk to like these athletes who are in the midst of their careers and don't feel like they have to choose between motherhood and their profession that they love. To me, like that is the reward.
Great to see you today.
Good to see you.
How you doing?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
By the way, I love the sneakers.
Thank you.
Which version is this?
This is the Evelyn Runner. It's our new running shoe. So I'm super excited to put it out into the world.
Do you still run a lot?
I do, in a different way. I found myself, there was like one point, I think a year ago, and I was on the track doing like this insane workout, and I just kind of looked around and I'm like, no one's here. Like no one, I'm not getting ready for anything. And then I started to kind of like try to do things differently. I started playing a little tennis and doing like some, some less intense workouts.
As one of the greatest runners to ever live, the most decorated USA track and field athlete ever, you've been running your whole life. Do you still love it? Like, and can you do long distance? Do you like to do?
No, like that's a different.
Because you're a sprinter, that's a whole different.
That's a whole different. That's a gift I do not have.
And when did you start running as a kid?
I started in high school, so kind of a later start.
Oh, that's a late start.
Yeah,
right?
Kind of just happened to find my way into it because I was at a new school, and my family was like, "You should run to meet people," and so that's how I kind of stumbled into it.
And when you started in high school, did you love it right away, or did it take a little while for it to click?
I loved the competitive, I loved knowing who could win right away. That was like, oh, this is my thing. Like I was super competitive. But the whole Olympics dream and all of that took time to develop. It happened quickly.
Yeah, because you started in freshman year of high school?
Yeah.
So you were 14, 15. And you were in the Olympics at what?
At 18. So it was
like 40.
It was a whirlwind.
When you were at the Olympics at 18, so you would have been in Athens?
Yeah.
That was your first Olympics, Athens in 04. Was it a little bit like surreal, oh shit, I'm actually here?
It was overwhelming because, I had just finished high school. I felt like I was still new to the sport. Like I had never competed on that stage, but Athens lit the fire for me. That's when
really?
I was
That's when it clicked.
Yeah, that's when I was like, oh, I saw one of my really close friends. I saw her win a gold medal and I was like, oh, I want to do that.
Over the course of your career, were there ever times that you felt like you didn't achieve what you want and looked like failures in the moment and felt like failures?
To me, like a defining moment in my career, the 2008 Olympics, I was the favorite. I was expected to win. I was coming off a silver medal. Everybody thought I was gonna do it. And I got another silver medal to the same exact person. And I was devastated. I'm embarrassed, literally was embarrassed to show my face because I thought I let everybody down and that whole thing. But looking back, it was that moment for me that made me analyze everything I was doing. Can I get better? Nutrition, my weights, our philosophy, all the things. And so I'm grateful that it went that way because I don't know would I had the same success if it had come so easily in that moment.
When you talk, it feels like you can still feel taste it in your mouth a bit.
It still hurts.
It still hurts. I
see pictures from 2008 and I just want to quickly, from those games, all the emotions come up. Yeah. But I mean, I've used it's fueled me through my career. So I'm grateful for it.
That's the athlete mindset. Shit happens. It happens in real time. It's not a take. You can't go back and fix it. You have to move on. But it doesn't mean I still can't.
No, yeah. But I think there's that lesson in dealing with defeat, that you use at every place in life. And I know, for me, I didn't know how to deal with it.
Yeah.
I was paralyzed by it. How do I move forward? And then you learn it. So the next time I still despise losing or anything. I don't want to go through that. but I know, okay, I'm taking something away from this, and it's going to help me, and I'm moving forward.
How did you feel about the athlete who beat you? You were like, I have to beat. Did you like take that in your brain, like I have to beat her?
You know, it's funny because in an individual sport, like it is, you are like matched up with this person. But it's Veronica Campbell-Brown. She's a legendary Jamaican athlete. We went back and forth a lot, but I always knew I had to bring my A game. So I also appreciated that because like she brought the best out in me. But of course, like I wanted to win in Olympics. Yeah.
I always wonder because I played basketball and football, but when you're individual sport like track and field, what is your favorite part of it? The beginning of the race, when you're looking at, do you guys look and talk, or is it the end? Which part is your favorite?
I think my favorite is like the process. Like I think there's something really special about like starting from just nothing, you know, you come out, you're out of shape, you're getting back into it. I love building. Like I love like, okay, this is the goal, how are we gonna get there? And like, it's almost like a puzzle, like putting it together.
But let's deal with that a little bit, getting out of shape. Because when you were competing, you were never really you were relatively out of shape.
Well, yeah.
You weren't in race shape, I assume, right?
Yeah, not in race shape, like off-season shape.
Off-season, you're doing?
I took a true off-season. Like
how many days would you go with not running on the track?
Oh, I wouldn't run. So about a month and a half.
That's a long time to give yourself a break. Mm-hmm. But then when you do get back, you definitely
pay the
out of
price.
shape then.
You pay the price. And then you're like, why did I do that? But I've always felt like it was necessary for me, like to have the love of it and to feel rejuvenated. Like I needed that time and space.
Did you grow up in an athletic household where like sports always on TV?
Yeah, for sure.
People watching
sports?
My
My parents weren't athletes, but there was that, it was always a constant.
It was like, things always a competition?
Super competitive family.
Really? Everything? Like board games?
Everything. And I think that, my brother always says it like, you know, it's like the sibling, little sister, little brother syndrome. Like, you know, you never won in anything.
You're the youngest?
Yeah. So that allowed me to go hard. I, wasn't scared of failure. My dad nobody ever let me win, so.
Do you think that like, I have kids now, can you teach them that competitive thing, or do you think people are born with it?
I think you're born with it, you know? It'll be interesting. I'm interested to see like how they're young now, but like how they are like with sports and, cause I don't really think you can teach that. I think it's something you just have within.
Along your 20-year career, when did you start to realize the business that goes around athletics and sport?
Yeah, I think it was somewhere towards the middle of my career when I changed from, I had been with Adidas for 6 years and then I switched to Nike. That's when I really started to understand like, oh, so much is happening. Like there's such a bigger picture.
What about that moment made you realize it?
I think because, when I was with Adidas, I wasn't seeing the success outside of sport. So like I felt like I was being successful like on the track, but it wasn't matching, like my business outside wasn't matching. And that's when I was like, okay, there has to be more here. And that's when I started working with my brother. Like we started to put things together at that moment.
And before that, did you have like a normal agent? Or
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
And your brother came in at that moment? It was like,
he
I'll
came
be
in
your business
after.
partner.
Yep.
Was it his idea, yours? How'd you guys arrive there?
So it was his. He had ran and he had this liver virus and he basically had to stop training. And he had gone to school, wanted to stay involved in sports. And so he had wrote this whole proposal to my parents and we laugh about it now looking back, you pitched me, this is a whole thing.
He was right, by the way. Do it like a professional.
He did, yeah.
He's like, we're brother and sister here, we're friends here, but here,
whole
we're going to be partners.
A whole thing, yeah. But that really changed it for me because it allowed me to put 100% trust in the business side that was taken care of, and then I could focus on what I needed to do. And before, I think I was trying to, hold some of that as well, and things kind of definitely fell into place from there.
What year did you make this change from Adidas?
2008, so after my second Olympics. My big desire to go with Nike was really their marketing. What I felt like their pitch was incredible. You go up on the jet, you're on campus and your pictures everywhere and they're, it's incredible. You go to the employee store, it's hard to pass that up. But I was really happy with a lot of the things that we got to do together, a lot of the the nonprofit were a lot of, different things that we built together. But it was all, I thought I was going to end my career there, go off into the sunset. And then it was when I decided to start a family, that was the turning point for me. And I didn't feel fully supported.
By Nike?
Yeah. I spoke out about that.
And did they just not listen, not hear you? What do you think it was?
So it was the contract. I was renegotiating my contract.
While you decided, at the same time you decided to start a family?
Yeah, so I knew I wanted to start a family, and we were in a renegotiation period, and I knew what had happened in the past. I knew the reputation. I knew I had watched athletes. I watched women's contracts be paused. I watched them not be able to get new contracts. So I knew what was happening. I turned my fight away from like the financial, because they offered me 70% less of my previous contract, but I could deal with that. I asked for maternal protections, and basically that is saying that you would have time to recover from having a baby without facing a financial penalty because of it. If you have a baby, there was nothing in place to protect you. So what was happening is that women who started families, they would be reduced and pushed out of the sport.
Yeah.
So I asked for time to be able to get back to top form. So when I had my daughter, if I didn't make the world championship team, that was 8 months later, that I wouldn't face a
steep penalty.
Yeah, after already a 70%. So I'm taking 70% less, but now you also want to get me if I don't make the team.
Sure.
So I asked for time. And I was told that I could have the time. And I'm like, great, let's do this. And then the contract came back, but there was no tie to pregnancy or maternity.
In the contract?
In the contract. So I could have it, but other female athletes like this, it wouldn't set the precedent.
So what they did, they're saying we will do this for you, but we won't put it in the contract because contract will set precedent.
They said they wanted to take it on a case-by-case basis.
Got it.
And for me,
and you wanted to set the precedent.
I had seen what had happened. I just had a daughter who spent a month in the NICU. It was just all the things that were happening at once. There's no way I watched her fight and I'm gonna let her generation take on the same thing.
It was bigger than you.
Absolutely.
Got it.
Yeah. So that was what I walked away.
And at that moment you walked away, you never signed again with Nike?
No, I wrote a New York Times op-ed about it along with other teammates of mine. And then I walked away, and they changed the policy.
But they did call you back and say, hey, we've changed the policy.
No, I actually, someone sent me the email that they circulated to everybody, to all the athletes, of the change in policy.
And how do you feel about them today?
You know what, I don't have huge animosity, because I feel like I'm where I'm supposed to be. Mm-hmm. Everything happened and it brought me to what I'm supposed to be doing. Yes, it's been a hard pill to swallow, watching them launch their maternity line, watching them celebrate mothers. To me, that is very hard to see with what I dealt with internally, because it was a fight, to be able to change this. And now to seem it was just kind of, okay, we did it, and out with me, let's celebrating. And it's hard, but that's what change is. It's never about you. It's never about you. And I think you have to be okay with that. And I came to a place where I'm okay, because now I get to talk to these athletes who, Naomi Osaka, and just her appreciation for what I did, and getting to see her be in the peak of her career, and, knowing it's hard, but she can still, be her, and do all the things. And I think it's a bigger shift in the culture.
That's amazing. So did she reach out to you and call you and say, as a thank you?
She thanked me.
That's amazing.
It was, to me, that is the reward. Mm-hmm. It's seeing and cheering her on, and other women who are in the midst of their careers and don't feel like they have to choose between motherhood and their profession that they love.
Now you started your own management company.
Yeah.
Always Alpha. What was it that made you want to get into that?
It was really, what Wes and I built together. I didn't see that in the world. So he managed me, but we also worked with other, experts in specialized areas. And I wasn't feeling confident to point people in a certain direction, especially women. So our firm is only women. It's focused on women's sports.
The first one that's only focused on women.
So I always felt like, women end up being an afterthought. And so here is the perfect time to put them at the forefront and to do things differently. So taking that model that really comes from the entertainment industry, and we don't really see it so often in sports, of manager, where we play the role as like the coach or the quarterback, and really see the whole strategic brand of the athlete, but also work with other people in specialized areas. So excited just to really show up for female athletes. And for me, it's also a bit of a legacy piece as well. I feel like I learned so much, and here I have the opportunity to share that.
And now, obviously, you're done competing, but you're an entrepreneur now and a mom and all the other things. What has it been like for you to see like the beginning of this explosion of women's sports through WNBA, basketball, soccer? What has that felt like to watch that?
Exciting. I mean, it's felt like such a long time coming, and for so long I feel like we've been screaming about it and telling the world, that there's stories here, there's personalities. Seeing people take notice to that has been amazing. And then these opportunities for these female athletes, I'm really excited that they're starting to get a little bit of what they truly deserve.
What part of like your experience are you most excited to bring to Always Alpha that you think you can really get into the weeds and help all the talent, I call it talent, the talent creators?
I think a lot around not doing things the way they've always been done. I think a lot of athletes, you're so focused on your sport that you don't realize your reach and the potential that you can have. And so whether it's building your own brand, whether it is some other project that you want to do, I think everyone is so unique. It can't be a cookie cutter, thing of how this is how we're going to do, how we're going to market them and do all these things. It has to be unique to that person. So I'm really excited to push people to do, whether it's impact work or if they want to talk about a certain thing, but to say that they're a whole person and they can show up in other spaces as well.
So you spent a lifetime being defined by medals and winning races. How do you define success now as an entrepreneur, as a mom, as everything? How do you look at it?
It's definitely different now. I look at it like impact, how can I affect change? How can I be a part of solutions? But I mean, it's taken work, like identity work, because like you said, I've done this all my life. Like it's what I know, and I miss it. Like if I could have done it forever, of course I would have. But it's shifting to like, okay, I'm doing work that fulfills me, that excites me, but dealing with like, how do I measure success? It looks very different instead of being so clear. It's either like this pure joy or like devastation. It's a huge moment.
How do you feed that now though? Because that's like a thing that's inside you forever.
It is. I mean, there's still the competitive parts. Like, with Saysh, we want to disrupt the industry. We're like, as we see other brands like start to make shoes specifically for women, wanting to push the industry, it's different, and sometimes you have to create some of that. But for me, it is purpose, it is impact. It's like, how can we change the game? Like, I want things to be completely different for this next generation and the things that they hopefully won't have to struggle with.
Over your career, you've done a lot on the track and off. What is the thing that you think sums up your career, your legacy, and what do you want that to be, that people to know you for?
I think fighting for women. I think that's it. Like, I hope that people see what I've done, and I've wanted to make things better than when I came, and I think it boils down to that. Like, when I think about, what I'll tell my daughter and what she sees, that's what I want her to think about. Like, it's not always about you. There's a bigger picture, and you can be successful, but you can also help the next person up, and I hope that's the legacy that I leave.
That's amazing, Allyson. You are a much better person than an athlete, and you're one of the greatest athletes to ever live. Thank you for coming on. I appreciate it. You're a true Maverick.